Lovely Gemini. We are approaching a full moon in Aries soon, and it will be on the 13th or 14th, depending where you are around the world. Full moons in Aries tend to come with a lot of energy, as Aries is a fire and cardinal sign ruled by energetic Mars. And we are still in Libra season, which is all about relationships and keeping the peace and everything balanced. But since the start of October, there have been some tense cosmic energies. And if you have been feeling highly strung, easily frustrated or overwhelmed, there is going to be a huge release point on offer under the bright Aries full moon for you. The full moons are usually emotional, and you may find yourself to be driven by your feelings or to take action by emotion. So it's something that you should be aware of. These emotions can get the better of us, and we can blow up and be more easily irritated, frustrated, or annoyed. So a healthy outlet for those feelings that surface during this lunar phase is a must. Okay, it is a time to release yourself from the shackles that you have become bound by under the light of the moon, and you will be guided to unlock the doors and help free yourself from any self-imposed barriers you have been hiding behind. So you have to remove the mask you have to remove the masks so that you have been hiding behind to be your true authentic self. We also have Pluto, which will be very active during this full moon as well, and will be encouraging everyone to keep shedding the layers that hold us back, so we can rise into our fullest power in some way. We need to come out of these shadows with courage to share our energy with the world, because that is why we are here. That is why our souls bothered to make this courageous, scary and beautiful journey to Earth in the first place, to share our energy, who we are, and with the world. So with Aries, it's the first sign of the zodiac, and ruled over by the energy of number 1 in numerology, which is all about leadership, ownership, and showing up exactly as we are, free of attachments and insecurities, just like babies, and just ready to bring all of who we are into the world. We may have collected insecurities along the way in our own personal life journeys, and it is moments like these where we are reminded to smash through them and to see them for the illusions that really are. Fears are illusions. So it wants us to make sure we are not hiding away our true selves or sacrificing too much in order to make those around us comfortable, or to ensure that we are not doing the reverse, which is allowing our ego to overwhelm or smother another person's truth or energy. So besides releasing us from our self-imposed prisons, this full moon is also going to be challenging us in our relationships. So if relationship issues were present under the Libra new moon back on September, this full moon could also bring some new information to the surface that will allow you to find closure. And while this energy will be motivating us to break free, it may help to check in and ensure that we are acting from a place of love rather than ego, as Aries is a fire sign, and with the fiery quality of this full moon, it can make us want to rush, force and jump into things head first. So if relationship issues have been the case in the past few weeks, you may find that the full moon pushes you to take action or to make some changes hastily, head first, and you may regret it later. So I would suggest to just stop, breathe and reflect before taking any action. Relationships that are no longer serving you, on the other hand, or your soul's growth, may be released under this new energy, or you may set some new healthy boundaries. So take a look at what limitations have been working against you that are preventing you from moving forward. What thoughts or beliefs have been blocking your progress or standing in your way. As Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, full moon in Aries usually can be those times when you finalize plans or start something new. It could be a time where you see the successful completion of something you started long before. You could say it could be like the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end in some way. So whatever happens during this time can determine whether something lives on and makes it all the way, or falls apart and loses steam. This full moon is transiting Pluto in Capricorn, which is an aspect that brings difficulty. It's a difficult aspect. Where Pluto really will amplify anger and aggression and power, fighting for power, fighting over power, control. So these are the times where you will need to step back, stop, breathe and reflect. This is a difficult transit. So it's a notion where we are asked to just stay calm. This full moon also is trine Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Jupiter wants us to try and not be so serious and not get sucked into all the drama that's happening. So it's like a very different or funny kind of, energy. So the full moon being in Aries / Libra axis, which is, we're still in Libra season, which is square to Pluto, where the energies might push some of us to be tempted to assert claims to power ruthlessly, and conflicts can happen and they can hardly be avoided. So it's time to be careful with those things. Stop, breathe and reflect. Take your time. But by all means, stand by your light. Do not be a doormat. Do not be afraid to show your weaknesses either, though. Okay. The strong energy of these days could well be used for a deep personal process of clarification. The feeling of uncertainty that you normally have can help you to solve problems faster than normal during this time. But I would suggest, again, do not rush as if there was a deadline, and try to slow down so that you can decide what it is you really want to do, and proceed at your own comfortable pace. So Gemini, you are in the 11th house, with the 11th house matters. It's about friendships in our lives. This is a house of personal liberation. It's a place where we set free from obligations, make turns, recognize our wishes, and realize how great our minds are. This is a house that represents all non-profit organizations, different groups, clubs, and societies, as well as a higher associations as well as higher associations and acquaintances of like-minded attitudes. This house is here to support and blow wind in your sails as a place where you may find yourself. Find people who approve of your personality without judgment. The nature of this house is strangely linked to matters of the third house, and it will present speeding older siblings and everyone in your life that you will talk to in a spontaneous, liberated manner. It's a place where your work gives benefits. The house of your pension and the money you put aside after you're done with all regular responsibilities. It is a house that rewards all of your career efforts and everything that was done with a goal or truly evolve and become a better person. This is a place of all wishes and desires, hopes, and a house we all have to visit often enough to understand the collective a little better. So with the 11th house in Aries energy, things are never peaceful in your social life. There's always new things happening, new people, you're meeting new people waiting down the road, and can make you accumulate people that are superficial because of the certainty that it can also make you superficial because of the belief that there will always be someone new your way. So it's also the energy of the Aries fiery energies with the full moon in the 11th house is also universal thought and collective consciousness. So it is a way that as if your God spoke through energy of Aries, and you may feel like at times it feels like a battlefield or a game that needs to be won, but no. Just what I would say is, again, stop, breathe, and reflect, and then assess, and then act. So that's what I would say. Let's see what the full moon layout says for Gemini. We have a 5-card layout, and we need 5 cards for this layout. One last one. So, the first card is about what are the energies that you have attracted or manifested since the last new moon. And we've got the Death card. So the Death card is not about death. I mean, it could be, but not necessarily. It mainly represents transformation. So there was some sort of transformation happening for you since the last new moon until this full moon. So specifically related to relationships, because we are in Libra season and everything kind of reflects to relationships in general. So it's not just one-on-one relationships, it's relationships in general. So what needs to come into your consciousness? Now this needs to come into your consciousness. It shows that you need to be aware of your where you have proceeded. It shows that you have come so far. You have gained your independence. You have gained your security. You have gained so much that you are enjoying the fruits of your labors. You should be aware of where you are at the moment, and this shows that maybe you are not doing enough gratitude work. So maybe some gratitude work. So what no longer serves you and needs to be released. I've got the Star card. The Star card says that you have to release that thought of constantly wishing for something. Now this is saying to me that maybe it's time to stop wishing and start to manifest, start manifesting. So just wishing alone is not serving you. You have to start manifesting. You have to start doing something about what it is that you hope this would happen, you hope this will turn out that way, etc., etc. So it's not about wishful thinking, it's about actually materializing your thoughts. The fourth card here is, how can you release and let go of the energies that no longer serves you or that you no longer need? It's saying take an emotional step back. Put a boundary. It's saying you need to remove your emotional attachment to whatever situation it is and kind of step back and analyze. And that way you will know how to release and let go of the energies that you do not need or no longer serve you. And what can you learn from this experience to make magic happen? It's saying be more adventurous, take a gamble here and there, and kind of just jump into something that you thought maybe not work out, but it just might. It's saying to take action. Stop dreaming or stop wishing. Start taking action. That's what it's saying. This full moon is asking you to take action. Okay, so that's your tarot reading and your astrology. Gemini, I hope you enjoy the full moon energies, and may love and light be with you always. Bye.